everyone. My name is Marta. I am a PhD student at University Pompeu Fabra and a former master's student of Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. Let me first thank bgse for having invited me to this beautiful occasion and congratulate this amazing cohort for having made it till graduation and in the most successful way. Among you, I have incredible friends and future colleagues, and also my very first brilliant class as a teaching assistant. So, some common and popular wisdom says that you never forget your first love, but I'm sure it applies to the first students you teach macroeconomics. This is an additional reason for being glad and grateful to have met you and share these 10 months of challenging journey with you. In the few and brief words, I promise, that I want to address to you in this special day, I want to underline what I believe are the most crucial lessons you will carry with you in your life. I will start with facts and stress it again. You made it. For most of you, it was the first experience away from home, away from your country, from the comfort of your family and beloved friends. Maybe it was even the first time you crossed oceans and continents, the first time you lived alone or with some wild housemates, the first time you studied in a foreign language, and the first time you realized that there is not a single food in the world that is as garlic-based as the Catalan one. I'm sure all these new adventures have shaped you and shaped the way you see yourself today as students, workers, and most importantly, citizens. And I can say I'm sure about it because I have experienced this whole package last year. And I went through the entire universe of emotions that have characterized your master here in Barcelona. Like you, I have asked myself many times what I was doing here. From September till June, every time I was trying to understand a difficult lecture or to solve an impossible problem set with my friends, I found myself questioning my choices, my limits, and my motivation. In a world that seems to always tell us to be sure, to blindly believe we are right, to fear nothing, I remember feeling small and thinking that it was most certainly my mistake. However, after the 2 years I've spent here by now, I've come to realize that this constant process of having questions and doubts is what marked the difference from being arrogant and superficial and being thoughtful and rational women and men. Not heroes, not perfect, simply rational women and men. It is not by turning away the eyes from difficulties that you advance in life, but is instead by acknowledging the problem and finding a consistent and viable solution. So let me point out the first big lesson I believe this year at bgse has taught you. It is more than okay, I would even say it is essential to have a problem to solve. Without hard times, without challenges, no one progresses as a person, and no advances can be made by the society as a whole. You can, and in fact, you should feel lost sometimes, and accept that you cannot always succeed, that you might fail. Whenever you will face a tough situation in your future life, you should remember these 10 months of struggle and pressure. Remember how you felt and how you pulled together your brain, your personality, and the help of your friends and colleagues to finally find a solution. Remember that almost never you had a perfectly correct answer, but after all, you had always gained a better and sounder understanding of the problem. I mentioned the words friends and colleagues, not by chance, because here comes my second thought about your experience at bgse. With 200 students coming from all over the globe, this school puts you in contact with a fair sample of people from different cultures, genders, religions, socio-political backgrounds, and it teaches you that differences are salient features of any positive and well-functioning environment. Through the variety of opinions and approaches to work and to life in general, one can learn from the experiences of the others and better complement their own views and ideas. In a society that constantly tells us not to recognize and not to respect differences, I wish you to be the people who will strongly defend heterogeneity as the key ingredient to progress and to share this planet in a healthy way. I invite you to be determined and persistent, and I wish you to have an open-minded and scientific attitude, to critically evaluate reality and to use your incredible intelligence to avoid falling in the traps of hate and resentment. I encourage you to listen to every opinion, even the ones you do not agree with, in the constant attempt to establish what is the best and not what is the easiest thing for you and for the society we participate in. Some centuries ago, an Italian poet named Dante Alighieri wrote the following sentence in a passage of the Divine Comedy. "Consider well the seed that gave you birth. You were not made to live as brutes, but to follow virtue and knowledge. These are my last words to you, BGSE students. Completing a master here was the goal and the reason you set out for this physical, educational, and personal journey. Now that your time here is over, it's the time that you take another step along the path of your lives. I hope they will be winding and interesting, because curious and clever human beings like you have a taste for adventures. I hope they will be enlightened by logic and rationality, and full of people you love, you value, and you can learn with. Knowing what you are able to do and what we can do all together, I wish you all the best for the years to come. Thank you and congrats."
Thank you, Marta. You give us a lecture. Now, I would like to give the floor to Rasmus Herløw Schmidt, the student representative of the International Trade Finance and Development of year 2019.
Very overwhelming, very overwhelming. I want to just clarify, I'm not the student representative of the ITFD program. That is Eric and Julia, and they did a great job. But thank you very much for the floor, Paulina. I'm very, very honored to be invited up here. It's an absolutely delightful sight, and I've been excited about this for long. It is so great to see everybody, and I'm just very, very happy to be a part of this. Such a great group, funny group. And we represent more than 50 nationalities coming from near and far. And some of you have even come all the way from the Beaterra campus. And also to the friends and family present here today, you have come to congratulate and welcome back this bunch of graduates from an incredible journey. And it's very, very great to see your proud smiles today. But exactly how proud the smiles ought to be, you might not fully realize. Therefore, I'll take you on a journey, our journey, on a magnificent ship called the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. In early September last year, we all, the sailors, embarked on this incredible journey, full of expectations, hope, and anticipation. Slightly nervous, but nevertheless ready for a challenging and a year full of learning and great experiences. We were greeted by the crew and the invaluable staff of the engine room, and they were prepared to do whatever it would take to make this journey one to remember. And embarking would later turn out to be the easiest part. The seas were calm and smooth as we set sail. Then the forecast for the year to come was looking very promising. Unknowing and innocent, we left the comfortable shore for the seemingly friendly open ocean. Further ashore, and increasingly disconnected from the world around us, we began our quest for the golden treasure in this new floating home of ours. And we quickly turned this ship into our home. We consumed our breakfast, our lunch, our dinner, and everything in between below deck. We managed our individual chores and duties while pouring down liters of coffee. We met our deadlines, and we prepared ourselves to stand up to the tests that we were given. But unpredictable as the weather can be, it did not stay calm and cozy for long. Dark and serious clouds surrounded us. Days went by with a dense fog, making navigation impossible. and we were left fumbling in the dark. Then came thunder. First in the distance, but soon enough, this sudden burst of light traveled towards us with hasty steps. The seas were building to not only uncomfortable, but also dangerous conditions. Waves rolled over the railings, and the ship started tilting from side to side. The watery fists kept knocking on the hull with rhythmic persistence, and the most experienced sailors struggled to get the sails down, while the rest of us found it difficult just to hang on. There was no staying still and no going back. All but a few considered abandoning the ship in a passing moment of weakness, but we stuck together, and eventually we got used to the ship tilting. We learned how to turn it into advantage and to use the momentum of the waves to carry us ahead. But one day, a chilling scream from below deck broke the newfound optimism. The ship had begun taking on water. Slowly filling from a crack in the hull, the time constraint had suddenly become binding. Thank you. As a timely culmination of agony and joy, we finally saw land. It appeared unexpectedly, as a glimpse of hope on the horizon, but it felt like a healing injection of energy to make us go the last mile. Gradually emerging was a shore full of friends and family waving at us, cheering for our return. Never had the feeling of firm soil felt so good under our feet. Still dizzy from the tilting, we're now in the process of finding our footing and setting the direction for our future. Now, as capable captains of our own ships, we are preparing to set sail for yet another adventure. So ship ahoy and anchors away. I'm grateful to have shared this challenging but wonderful journey with you, and I wish you all the best for your adventures ahead. Enjoy the tailwinds and let the headwinds make you stronger. And remember, there are small ships, there are large ships, and then there are friendships. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.